morning.
Morning.
Kristen take off?
Mm-hmm. I'm just about to go to the office myself.
Eric, Ridge's bed wasn't slept in last night. Now, he's starting to take this life in the fast lane just a little too seriously. He barely got home in time to change and get to work.
It's not as it appears.
What do you mean?
Well, Ridge did just get home this morning. He did spend the night out.
Isn't that what I just said?
He wasn't with a woman. He was with the chief investigator on Caroline's case.
The police investigator?
Mm-hmm. Dave Reed. He's Brooke Logan's fiancé. Apparently, Brooke called him for Caroline the night of the rape.
What did the police want with Ridge?
There's a good chance the district attorney is going to call Ridge to testify this morning. For Caroline.
Really? Why? I mean, what could he possibly testify to?
I don't know. I think it's more as a character witness of sorts than anything else. He didn't go into detail.
Well, this is rather surprising, isn't it? I mean, if they knew that he was going to be a witness, why is it happening so suddenly?
Stephanie, apparently Caroline's case is not going as well as they expected.
You mean there's a chance this rapist could get off?
I think that's their fear.
I don't understand what help Rich can be.
I don't either.
Of course, if he could shed some light. Well, I mean, it would be wonderful if his testimony would help Caroline's case.
Stephanie, don't. I know what you're thinking, and it's not fair to Thorne.
I'm just speculating, as you must be too.
Are you sure you want to go? You know how Caroline feels about anyone being in the courtroom.
Margot, this is the last day of the trial. From what I understand, Caroline's case is not going very well. Where else would I be?
I understand how you feel. I just don't want to make it any harder for Caroline than it already is.
Well, this animal is pleading consent. He has the gall to maintain that Caroline was a willing partner in what happened to her. The man's a liar, and he's going to pay. And I promise you, if Ron Deacon walks out of that courtroom a free man...
Bill, don't.
He is going to be punished for what he did to my daughter. If it's the last thing I ever do, I will make sure that he never rapes another woman.
Bill, you're talking about killing a man.
I'm not going to kill him, Margot. There are other ways of assuring that he'll never rape again.
Do you know what you're saying?
Do you know what I've lived through? It's outrage enough that my daughter was raped. It's a greater outrage if her rapist is found innocent.
It's in the hands of the court. You have to trust that justice is going to be done.
Oh, yes. Justice will be done. One way or the other. You count on that. Let's go.
Come in.
I'm Rich Forrester.
Yes, I recognize you. Thank you for coming. Jeff Talon, Deputy District Attorney.
What can I do for you, Mr. Talon?
Dave Reed's briefed you?
That you may need my testimony for Caroline's case? Yes. We were up most of the night preparing.
Good, because we do need you, very definitely. In fact, Caroline's entire case depends on what you say today.
just missed your father.
Yeah, I figured. I'm running late.
Long evening?
I couldn't sleep, Mother. I can't get Caroline off my mind. The trial's winding up today.
I heard. How do you think it's going?
Not good. This Ron Deacon can just lie with the best of them.
Honey, do you think there's a chance that he could get off?
I don't think we can be certain about anything right now, Mother.
You going to be there today?
We're at the courthouse?
Mm-hmm.
No. As much as I want to be, I know how much it means to Caroline that we all just stay away, so I'll be in the office. Has Ridge left already?
Yes, but not for the office. Honey, I'm going to tell you this because sooner or later you're going to hear it. Your brother plans on being at the courthouse today.
Ridge?
Yes, he left a while ago.
What in the hell is he trying to pull now?
Wait a minute now, before you jump to conclusions. The district attorney's office has asked him to be there. They want him to be a character witness to testify on her behalf.
A witness?
Well, honey, they want him to be some sort of character witness.
Well, I could have given him that.
I think that the prosecutors have something very specific in mind.
Well, I'm going over there. Whatever it is, I don't trust Ridge not to try to take advantage of the situation.
Thorne, I really believe that your brother only wants to help Caroline.
Yeah, let's just hope the DA knows what he's doing.
I am so glad that you came with me today.
I'd have been here every day if you'd let me.
Brooke, I just didn't want the people that I'm close to involved here. My plan was to walk away from this whole thing when it was over and never have to think about it again.
I understand.
I am just so afraid they're gonna let him go free.
Don't even think it. My God, Caroline, that man is a rapist.
I know, but I'm just being realistic. I saw the look on the judge's face when he was testifying. He sounded so credible.
He lied.
We know that, but what if the judge believes him? Honestly, Brooke, I don't know if I can stand it if he goes free.
It'll never happen.
It could very easily happen. There's nothing left but closing arguments, Brooke. And I don't know what the DA could possibly pull out of his hat now to turn everything around. The case is virtually over. Dad.
I'm sorry. I know that you didn't want us to be here, but I had to come anyway.
That's all right. Hi, Margot. I was just telling Brooke that today I may need all the support I can get.
Well, don't you worry about this man. He's going to be punished. One way or the other, this man's going to be punished.
Caroline,
Good morning.
we're just about to begin. We better all take our seats.
I'll see you later. Hang in there.
Thanks, Dad.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This Honorable Department, Superior Court, County of Los Angeles, is now in session. The Honorable Madeline Collins, Judge presiding. Be seated and come to order, please.
Mr. Talon, are you ready to begin your closing argument?
If the court please, some new evidence came to light last night and early this morning. I'd like to call one rebuttal witness before we begin arguments.
I see no problem with that. Miss West?
Frankly, Your Honor, I'm taken by surprise.
Oh, I see no reason to be. Counsel's request isn't that unusual. At least not in my experience.
May we at least know the name of the witness?
Mr. Talon, why don't you proceed? That way, we'll all learn the identity of this mystery witness.
The people call Ridge Forrester.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name, please.
Ridge Forrester.
You may be seated, Mr. Forrester. Proceed, Mr. Talon.
Mr. Forrester, I'd like to call your attention to early this past April. There was an event scheduled.
Yes. Caroline, Miss Spencer, and I were supposed to have been married.
And that wedding never took place?
No. Miss Spencer collapsed walking down the aisle. She was hospitalized, and the wedding was postponed.
Was it ever rescheduled?
No. I asked her on several occasions, but she said that she'd begun to feel she just wasn't ready for marriage.
So you're saying she was the one who refused?
Yes. More than once.
How did you react to being turned down like that?
Caroline wanted more time to establish a stronger sense of herself, her own identity. She moved into her own apartment, got a job, and for a while I was willing to wait to let her have the time she wanted.
Did the two of you continue your relationship?
Yes. To a point.
What does that mean?
No sex.
Please explain.
Before I met Caroline, I was used to more physically active relationships. After Caroline accepted my proposal, I agreed to play by her rules and wait until after we were married.
But then your wedding was postponed.
Yes.
Indefinitely.
Yes.
Did these delays put a strain on your relationship?
Very much so. She made it very clear that it was important to her to remain a virgin. And while I understood that, I didn't feel I could wait forever.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, we talked about it.
Besides her apparent need to establish some sort of independence for herself, did Miss Spencer give you any explanation for continuing to put off setting a new wedding date?
She doubted my fidelity.
With reason?
At that time, no. I wanted very much to marry Caroline.
With your wedding indefinitely postponed, did you approach the question of Miss Spencer sleeping with you?
Yes.
In fact, didn't you tell her that you could only continue being faithful to her if you were having sexual relations? Isn't that right?
Yes.
And yet she turned you down.
Yes, she did.
Do you know why?
Caroline has very strong moral convictions. More so than anyone I've ever met. As much as she loved me. And she did love me. It just wasn't in her to go against something she didn't believe in.
Did she tell you this?
Yes. She also told me about a deathbed vow that she made to her mother.
Do you know what that vow was?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is only relating something that Miss Spencer told him. Testimony that she'd taken a vow or what that vow was is based on hearsay.
I'll have to agree, Mr. Talon. Objection sustained.
Your Honor, evidence of this vow is crucial.
Mr. Talon, I have ruled. Now, I have given you a lot of leeway today. I will not allow you to get into immaterial matters and misdirect this case. The issue is not what Miss Spencer may have promised several years ago, but what she did on August 10th, the day she alleges she was raped.
Mr. Forrester, whatever her reasons, did Miss Spencer refuse to enter into a sexual relationship with you?
Yes, she did.
What happened after that?
I told her I couldn't wait.
Meaning?
I wanted very much to marry Caroline. I wanted to be faithful while she made her decision. But it had gotten to the point where, given my lifestyle, I didn't feel I could hold on without some concession by her.
How did she react to that?
She still refused to compromise.
Did she tell you that?
She wrote me a letter.
When did that happen?
Right before she was raped.
Did she at this time or at any time offer herself to you?
Sexually?
Yes.
No, I told you that was our problem.
Did you ever reject Caroline? Tell her that you didn't want to have sex with her, that you wouldn't marry her?
Where did you get that idea?
Just answer the question, please.
Never. I was the one that was pursuing her.
When was the last time you saw this letter that Miss Spencer wrote to you?
This morning, when I gave it to you.
Let me show you what I have marked as People's Exhibit number 4 for identification. Is this the letter that Miss Spencer wrote to you?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I'd like to offer this letter into evidence.
Miss West?
Objection. It's hearsay.
I don't assume it's being offered for the truth of its contents.
No, Your Honor, only to show that Miss Spencer said these things to Mr. Forrester immediately before the rape.
It may be admitted.
Mr. Forrester, would you please read to the court from that point that I've indicated?
I don't regret a moment of it, Ridge. These have been the happiest times of my life. I will never forget them. I will cherish them and you always. And yet I know we must go on, you and I. You must be free to follow your heart, to find a woman who will give you what I can't. A woman who will satisfy you as I haven't.
I think that's sufficient, Mr. Forrester. In fact, I think that says it all. Just one more question, sir. Since you received that letter, have you had any communication with Miss Spencer?
I telephoned her once. She still refused to see me. And since then, I've respected her wishes.
Your witness, counsel.
What you've told us today, Mr. Forrester, is what Miss Spencer said to you. A man for whom she has, or had, very deep feelings. Isn't that the case?
That's right.
And you don't know what she said to my client, do you?
I don't even know what your client says she said. And frankly, I really don't care. No, I know Caroline. And I know what she's capable of doing. And more importantly, I know what she's not capable of doing. Now, you can believe me when I tell you that Caroline Spencer is fundamentally incapable of giving herself to a man who is not her husband.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Very well. The witness is excused.
Ridge.